Hey guys, Nozlite here, and today we're back from another YouTube video. Today we're going to be covering Slenderman from the Slender series versus Pennywise from It. If you're going to enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe. I will be using novel Pennywise and a composite version of Slenderman. If you don't get why, it'll make sense as we go into the video, but essentially it just means we'll be using a version of, or a combined version of every version of Slenderman, and of course Pennywise from the novels. So yeah, let's just jump into it. When it comes to strength attack potency for Slenderman, in the Everyman hybrid version of Slenderman, he is implied to have transcended over physical reality perceived by lesser beings. And in the Angels game, essentially, he directly caused a dimensional bleeding, an event which causes universes and dimensions to bleed in with each other, tearing reality apart. So this would be a universal plus to kind of low multiversal feat when it comes to Slenderman's power. Meanwhile, for Pennywise, the strength of his avatars range from the weakest avatars being capable of ripping humans apart, and the strongest ones being able to create earthquakes far superior to the strongest earthquakes recorded in history. The strongest earthquakes recorded in history are around 9.4 to 9.6 in the moment magnitude scale, which should be equal to 15 gigatons of TNT, being enough to destroy an island, or a large one of that. And his true form exists outside of the Dark Tower, in a void beyond of which, Maturin survives in. Maturin himself exists in a void which lacks physically and direction, and penetrates both the concept of time and the multiverse existence as a whole, and Pennywise can exist outside of that, which would make him at least complex multiversal to outerversal, depending on how you want to spin it. So, overall, Pennywise would be far stronger than Slenderman, although of course Slenderman would be stronger than any of his avatars. When it comes to speed, and Slenderman is described as being the sole cause of feeling like you're being watched and of accidents, which means he's possibly omnipresent. That's a little bit of a stretch. He's also implied to be unbound by physical reality, meaning he's at least got infinite to immeasurable speed. Meanwhile, for Pennywise, and his avatars are stated to be comparable to a bullet train when it comes to speed, which travel at over 300 miles per hour, and his true form should be at least irrelevant to omnipresent, possibly, as he exists beyond all time and space, which means that their speed is likely equal here. As for Slenderman, and his durability should actually probably scale higher than his attack potency, seeing that he was completely unaffected by the dimensional bleeding itself, meaning that he would at least have universal plus to low multiversal in terms of durability. As for Pennywise's durability, he's implied to have survived its own death during the events of the novel at the end, and further on in other stories, which means that his durability more than likely scales to his attack potency also. It also makes sense due to his lore being able to survive outside of the concept of the multiverse. So yeah, Pennywise has been more durable than Slenderman. For abilities, weapon techniques, and Slenderman has a lot to go through, as it is his composite version, and all of them have tons of abilities. To start off with, he has shapeshifting, as he can shapeshift into other beings, being able to manifest long tentacles and grow several arms. He emits Sigma radiation from him, which can quickly result in death. He can manipulate minds, he can manipulate dreams and memories as well. He doesn't really feel pain, or at least can manipulate pain in someone else, he can effectively dull it. He has reality warping and spatial manipulation, as he's at least likely or partly responsible for the distorted and impossible spaces shown in the Everyman hybrid crew run. He's also implied to be the leader and creator of the collective who can manipulate space. He has telekinesis, he can create illusions. He has madness manipulation and fear manipulation. He has technology manipulation, teleportation. He has time manipulation, being responsible for putting people within loops and things like that. He can time travel. He can use BFR. He has precognition and immortality and several different levels of it. For example, he exists on a different plane of reality. He can create an entire realm and can create pocket dimensions. He has possible plot manipulation, as characters are convinced that he and others are fiction and their entire lives have been fabricated by Slenderman. However, this is debatable. He has resistance to death manipulation, as like the Habit, it cannot be killed by weapons branded with immortality. He has elasticity and aura. He has immortality from the point of view of that the operator infects those that are around it, and it spreads to those who these sources interact with. and yeah, they can basically just spread himself out, if that makes any sort of sense. He has invisibility, as he can only be seen on cameras. He has immortality, as he can't die from natural means. He has fire manipulation. He has corruption. He has self-sustenance and resistance to fire, resistance to clairvoyance, or clairvoyance as well, rather. As if someone learns about him, Slenderman will learn about them in return. He has darkness manipulation, he has perception manipulation, as he can manipulate the vision, hearing, and sensation of others. He has disease manipulation, as he can cause others to cough and vomit and experience nausea. He has sound manipulation and weather manipulation, being able to create fog. He has status effect inducement, he can absorb people into him. He has longevity and intangibility. He has possession and statistics amplification, as he gets stronger with more people that know about him. He has insanity inducement, he has empathic manipulation. He causes drowsiness, hallucinations, and paranoia. He has air manipulation, as the air calms when he's present. He has extreme regeneration, and can possess to something else if he's about to die. He has animal manipulation, pseudo-duplication via the Darkman. He has death manipulation, as a sample of his whisper immediately killed those who heard it. He has fear manipulation, as he induces unnatural paranoia into people. He has perception manipulation, again, as we already said. He possibly has omnipresence, depending on the version of Slenderman, but of course this is Composite, so it counts. He has soul consumption, he's a master of vehicles. He has enhanced senses and can see without eyes. He can float. He also had no trouble breathing on the moon. He has telepathy. He has fog creation and passive probability manipulation, as accidents only ever happen when Slenderman is near. He has stealth manipulation, or rather stealth mastery, not manipulation. He has large size, he has camouflage, levitation, and light manipulation. He has electronic disturbance, he has nightmare creation, pain manipulation. He can put people in time loops. He has life manipulation and portal creation as well. Meanwhile, Pennywise also has reality warping, has many different types of immortality, such as not being able to die from natural causes, having insane regeneration, and having their true self independent on a plane of reality, meaning that if they kill their avatar, it doesn't really kill them. He has regeneration, he can shapeshift, he has invisibility, he can create illusions, has teleportation and telepathy and mind manipulation. He has spatial manipulation, biological manipulation, and disease manipulation. As it was stated, it could point at his victims and grant them diseases. He has blood manipulation, he has possession, he has weather manipulation, technology manipulation, madness manipulation, as it can show the victim its true form, and that makes them mental, obviously. He has a casualty due to his, avatars. He has perception manipulation, as it can make itself perceived differently by different people at the same time. He has immersion, as he appeared inside a TV screen, holding the severed head of the TV actor. He has incorporeality, he has beyond-dimensional existence along with large size. He has transduality, madness manipulation, as we said. A single glance can turn victims insane and suffer instant death. He can absorb things into him. He has soul manipulation. He has possession with the deadlights, and electricity manipulation as well. So when it comes to versatility, I think it's clear that Slenderman has it, and also when it comes to abilities as well. Pennywise has a lot of really powerful abilities, but a lot of those abilities can also be attributed to Slenderman, and Slenderman's ability to manipulate time as well just adds to it. And of course, neither of them really have weapons, so the versatility and abilities point here both go to Slenderman. As for weaknesses, and Slenderman's effect on others can be lessened by a certain anti-seizure medication. Only people that can harm him, or the people that they can harm, are those who believe in him. And though people can also just learn about him by hearing the name, he also dislikes light, can't lie, and hates fire. As for Pennywise, it often underestimates and scorns humanity, considering them weak and toying with them. It makes mistakes and does illogical things fairly regularly, is sensitive to psychic energy, so collective belief and courage can overcome it. When it transforms into a shape, it must completely obey the laws of that shape. It goes into hibernation for 26 to 27 years between cycles, and during that time is vulnerable to attack. But its true form doesn't really have any notable weaknesses. So in terms of who's more vulnerable, I'd probably say it's Slenderman, looking at all of this. So who wins the fight? We've gathered from this that Pennywise is far stronger, far more durable, and is less vulnerable. Meanwhile, Slenderman has the better abilities and better versatility, and the speed is equal, so who wins? Now, it seems quite obvious that Pennywise would, right? He's out-reversal, complex multiversal, and Slenderman at best is low multiversal. And I do agree with that. I do agree that Pennywise wins, but the thing that makes it strange is Slenderman's like sheer array of abilities that Pennywise has shown no resistance to. For example, Pennywise hasn't shown any resistance to being corrupted, you know, being mind controlled, having illusions placed on him. He could resist like radiation due to him not being able to die by natural causes, but you know, still pretty mental. Slenderman could also place like Pennywise in a time loop, like Doctor Strange style, if you know what I mean. And he can win from that point of view, although Slenderman's best outcome is making it a stalemate with his, you know, abilities, as Pennywise also has many of these abilities too, and also Slenderman has never shown resistance to them either. For example, we've never seen what would happen if Slenderman got mind controlled himself, then Pennywise can do that. Slenderman can manipulate reality in spatial dimensions, but so can Pennywise too. And Pennywise's ability to become invisible just kind of makes it quite an easy one-shot win for Pennywise. Of course, Slenderman can easily deal with his avatars, but that doesn't really matter here. The thing that makes it strange though is the fact that their speed is more than likely equal, and as a result there's no like definitive way of saying who's more likely to do what first. But because Pennywise's win conditions are so much more simple and he can do many of the things that Slenderman can, I would say that Pennywise would win. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.